Hello and welcome to This Week in Campbell Football, powered by our friends at Dunbenson Ford. I'm Chris Sameyer alongside Campbell head coach Mike Minter. And Coach, I know you're thrilled. Your team 3-1 on the season, coming off of a 42-0 shutout victory over Shaw.
Again, just a great job by the guys of responding and bouncing back. We had a tough outing, tough situation, and to be able to respond and bounce back. And we weren't able to get back to practice until Tuesday, and so it was just a lot of different things that we had to deal with. The other thing is I moved practice from our normal time at 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And so that was different for the guys too, because of course we played at 6 o'clock at night when we played Shaw, and so I wanted them to get used to that, and so it was a different week, but at the end of the day, it's about getting to work and getting to practice and really dominating each day, and 98% is our goal as far as our standard in practice, and they was able to do that throughout the week, and so we was prepared. We was prepared mentally, physically. I love the way that the challenge was we got to run the football. And I wanted some big plays in the run game. And Daniel, I think the second play of the game, goes 68 yards for a touchdown or so. And so they come to the sideline. They said, "Coach, that's one." I said, "Okay, let's continue to do it then." And so that was really good to see our running game get going. We got to average around about 250 to 275 in the run game, and we was able to do that pretty closely, this week, and so that was good for the O-line, which, by the way, we give players of the game. And for the offense was the offensive line, because no sacks, no pressure on the quarterback at all. I don't even think Daniel got touched when he was throwing the football, and we ran for roughly 250 yards on the ground. And so when you look at that, you say, well, we got to give it to the big boys up front. They did a great job of really taking on the challenge and dominating the line of scrimmage. And so, it was really good with that. And then defensively, we gave out the player of the week, player of the game, I should say, to Justice, and so he did a great job of really just showing up as a true freshman. First time he got that many snaps and made an impact. I mean, so that was good. And then our special teams player of the game was Brad, our punter. So average, I think, 43.5 or something like that in the punt game. Net, that wasn't even his average. That was his net. And so that was really good. So all in all, man, we look at this football team. We like where we at. It's no surprise of where we at this point, but we got a big time game coming up this weekend.
Yes, no doubt, and we'll get to North Alabama in a second. So many highlights from the game, but a record-setting day. Aaron Blockman catches touchdown number 22. 22 total touchdowns is a record for him.
It's a great number, 22. I'm sure he was excited, and he was so excited. He showed me the picture of him catching that touchdown, and it was a nice picture, by the way, and I think he's going to get that framed up and put that up as a record-breaking touchdown in his career at Campbell. But, I mean, just such a great young man. I mean, this guy is great on and off the football field, student athlete, 3.0 is our goal as far as the GPA is for each player and for the football team, and he's one of those guys that's helping that GPA get up. And so we proud of him and got voted captain this year. And so it's not just he's a great football player, but he's just a great all-around leader for us on this football team and really putting in the work to show the young guys how to do it. And you can't have enough of those guys.
No one has scored more touchdowns in the history of Campbell football than Aaron Blockman. No one has thrown for more yards in the history of Campbell football than another record breaker from this last Saturday, Daniel Smith. And Daniel Smith has a few more years to go.
Yeah, I hate to see what this record is going to be after he's done. I mean, it's going to be hard to try to break that. I mean, a guy that's really only played about, 12, 14 games and already has the all-time passing record here at Campbell. So it's going to be fun to watch him continue to develop. He's still young, and he's just going to get better and better. Again, he's a guy that got voted captain for the offense, and he's putting in work every day. Another kid that's a great student athlete. His GPA is probably almost a 4.0 right now. It's just amazing the things that he brings to the table, and he shows the young guys again how to put in the work to become what he's showing on the football field.
The competition really ramps up, and it starts this week here at home, 6 o'clock, right here at Barker Lane Stadium. North Alabama comes into town. Now, if you don't know about North Alabama here on the East Coast, let me tell you, they won back-to-back national championships in the mid-'90s in Division II. They've been a Division II powerhouse. This year, they are kind of transferring up to FCS scholarship. They'll be a part of the Big South next year. This is a team that has already beaten 2 FCS scholarship teams, Coach, and they played toe-to-toe with the #1 FCS team in the country.
Listen, this football team is well coached. These guys are very, very good at executing on offense and defense and special teams. Here's the thing that I really love about them is that they play with so much intensity and so much effort. So for 60 minutes, it doesn't matter what the score is. These guys are playing hard. You talked about North Dakota State going into Fargo Dome and playing these guys toe-to-toe and really, really, making it a football game. It was a physical football game, and they made it that way. And so these guys, we got to be ready to try to outwork these guys for 60 minutes because that's the type of game it's going to be. And, so these guys they don't turn the ball over. But on defense, they create a lot of turnovers. You look at last week, they had 5 of them, and that was really, really big to them winning the football game. And I thought they did a really good job in the red zone on both sides of the ball. I thought, their offense scored touchdowns when they needed to, and they had a lot of big plays at the end of the game to create that win for them. So what you see is a battle-tested football team. Football team that understands that they're not going to panic. They're mentally tough, and that goes, again, to the coaching and the training that, the coaches have done with these guys since January. You see that. You see the excitement. They love playing this game. You got guys running around, jumping around. They got 2 defensive ends we got to be concerned about. These guys come off the edge. They're very quick off the ball. They're strong. They're not very tall, but they can get up under your pads, and they bull rush a lot. And so we got to be, ready to deal with that. And then their linebacker, number 2, he's a guy that runs around from sideline to sideline making plays, and I think he looks like the heart and soul of the football team, and so we got to slow him down. And then at quarterback, they got a guy that, I kind of call him Baker Mayfield because that's how he plays. I think he got the same number as him. And so he run around and make plays with his legs, always looking downfield to throw the ball. So our defensive backs have to stay with their coverage for longer than, 3 seconds. Now it's probably going to be more like 8 and 10. And we got to corral him. We got to hit him. We got to hit him a lot and let him know that it's not going to be that type of game and get pressure on him and let him know that we there all night and we got to keep him corralled into the pocket and try to do that. And then, got to stop the running game, of course. But this football team is for real, and we look forward to it. I think they maybe, top 40 right now, so ranked in the 30s. And so it's a big step for us and a big challenge, and we look forward to it.
It's going to be fun. 2 3-1 teams go at it 6 o'clock this Saturday night right here at Barker Lane Stadium. Tickets at GoCamels.com if you can't make it. Evan Budrovich will be on the radio call, 88.3 FM, GoCamels.com. Jay and I will have it on ESPN Plus on the video side. Until then, for head coach Mike Minter, I'm Chris Hamar saying so long. We'll talk to you next week on This Week in Campbell Football.